It doesn't matter if it's true or not. All that matters is Trump said it, so they have to say. I'm going to show you what happened to Kayleigh McEnany yesterday to show you how media folks who were supposed to be giving you facts to make an informed decision. The facts would be this. Masks, there's not a lot of data on it. You make your own decision. If it makes you more comfortable, then by all means wear a mask. But here's the data we have that say it works. Here's the data that we have that say it doesn't. That's the way a scientific inquiry would work, correct? If you were, doing a study on the benefits of synthetic versus conventional motor oil in a 2016 Ford Raptor, what would you do? You would do a study showing how it either led to less engine wear. You would publish the results. And if your study showed the opposite or another study showed the opposite, you'd publish that. People could evaluate the studies and make their own decision. That's what journalists are supposed to do. That's what we do on the show. Again, I just gave you a study about masking in this hair salon, which may prove some benefit. May. I am always open to data. The truth matters. The truth does not matter to the media. So yesterday, Kayleigh McEnany, who has been doing a spectacular job, and that may be understatement of the cosmos right now. Kayleigh McEnany is probably 47.6 IQ points higher than the smartest person in the media press room. Again, I don't mean to stereotype them all because there are some good and decent people and some smart ones there, but it's rare. I'm not kidding. I'm basing it on experience. I promise you it sounds personal, but it's not. In my prior line of work, I dealt with the White House press corps often, and they really are some of the dumbest people I've ever met in a position like that with such authority. I'm not joking. Some of the comments out of their mouths were just simply embarrassing. So they don't like Kayleigh McEnany because she's highly intelligent. So yesterday, she made a statement about opening schools. Again, the left wants to control you. And one of the ways to control you and impact the election is by insisting you keep your kids out of school, make them suffer, make them sit in solitary confinement in their rooms away from their educational experience. But they're in it for the kids, Joe, right? Because they claim to have data that it's such an apocalyptic risk to kids, COVID-19, that they're all going to die somehow if they go back to school. None of that's actually true. So Kayleigh McEnany was answering a question about this yesterday. I want you to listen to the whole quote here that's relevant, where she's claiming the science is on their side and how it's characterized by the hapless, absolutely hapless, embarrassing Weijia Zhang at CBS, who just cannot seem to do. I mean, the fact that she identifies as a journalist is really quite hilarious. But listen to the quote, listen to her characterization of it, and you'll see how embarrassing journalism is becoming, how they become a propaganda tool for the control-oriented leftists. Check this out.
We're seeing more school districts, at least in Virginia, for example, last night, deciding to go online only. What does the president say to parents out there who are now going, okay, what do I do with my kids?
Yeah, the president has said unmistakably that he wants schools to open, and I was just in the Oval talking to him about that. And when he says open, he means open and full, kids being able to attend each and every day at their school. The science should not stand in the way of this. And as Dr. Scott Atlas said, I thought this was a good quote. Of course we can do it. Everyone else in the Western world, our peer nations, are doing it. We are the outlier here. The science is very clear on this, that, for instance, you look at the JAMA pediatric study of 46 pediatric hospitals in North America that said the risk of critical illness from COVID is far less for children than that of seasonal flu. The science is on our side here, and we encourage for localities and states to just simply follow the science, open our schools. It's very damaging to our children. There's a lack of reporting of abuse. There's mental depressions that are not addressed, suicidal ideations that are not addressed when students are not in school.
So just to be clear, if you're a reasonable, rational person and a journalist, again, with an IQ in the triple digits, which you should, which very few actually are, what did you hear there? Again, we didn't edit it. We didn't manipulate. We cut it for time. I can't play the whole hour press conference. What did you hear there? Kayleigh cites a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association about how it's low risk for kids to go back to school. She then says the science is on our side and we should follow the science. But what quote did Weijia Zhang and others Jim Acosta. I mean, Acosta's just an embarrassment. I don't even include him on our list of dopey journalists. He's not even the guy's a clown. He's really not a serious person anymore. But what did Weijia Zhang hear? And what did she make sure to cut in her Twitter feed? Cut short. She didn't put the whole quote. What did she put in there? Well, let's check it out. Here's Weijia Zhang, @Weijia on her Twitter feed. From the White House podium, quote, "Science should not stand in the way of reopening schools." Now, of course, the minute I pointed out that she's a liar and a fraud, she had to play victim. That's what they do in the journal. Oh my gosh, poor me. Look, in my other tweet below it, where, by the way, she could have fit in the whole quote there. The science is on our side, citing of the Journal of the Medical Association. She didn't put any of that in her tweet. Why? Because Weijia Zhang is an activist. She's not a journalist. She's not a serious person. Her goal was to do what, Joe? To make you believe the Trump team there's a science wall, Joe, and the Trump team is pounding through the science wall. The science obstacle will not get in our way, us anti-science Republicans and the dreaded orange man bad Trump, who doesn't believe in science. That's not at all what Kayleigh said. That's not at all what she said. Again, you can rewind the podcast and listen to it yourself. Again, it's clear as day to any person, again, with a functioning neuron, that she was trying to say opening schools is backed by the science, and here's the study. But that's not what Weijia got out of it. So there's two explanations here. Either Weijia's really not that bright, which is a distinct possibility, by the way. Or second, and by the way, she will 100% play victim here. Oh my gosh, you're not allowed to go after me and insult me. I'm a journalist at CBS. 100% will play victim. She's allowed to attack. Joe, I promise you, she will play victim.
You're right.
100,000,000%. Someone will show her this and she will whine because she's upset that she attacked someone else and got called on it. So I'll even offer her an out. One, she's either not that bright, which again is a distinct possibility. Or number two, she is that bright and did that on purpose to make you believe again that the Trump team is attacking science. She could have fit in the quote. She wasn't at a character limit on Twitter. She just chose not to. Because she's an activist for the full-time left. The left wants your kids out of school because they don't give a damn about your kids. They don't. They don't care. I'm going to hopefully get to this later. I have some studies to show you. Even in Vox, Vox, not Fox with an F, Vox with a V, far left-leaning radical Vox, published an op-ed saying, basically, the kids need to go back to school. But the leftists don't care about that. And by leftists, I mean Weijia and the media. Why? Because it's about control. They need to control Donald Trump. They can't. Donald Trump wants kids to go back to school for it's better for them. So the natural impulsive reaction of the radical leftist disguised as a journalist is to counter whatever Donald Trump says. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. All that matters is Trump said it, so they have to say.
You just heard Dan Bongino.